Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Remember to join the Patreon for character sheets and like and subscribe for more mature friends the next time you play. Maybe. Today we're building Katara, the last piece of the elemental side of Team Avatar. It's also the funkiest, most difficult member, because even though Toph is an earth-molding, blind martial artist, there's more for that in D&D than there is for water. I don't know what it is with fantasy stuff and stiffing water, but we'll do what we can. Water rules.
Moisture is the essence of wetness, and wetness is the essence of beauty.
Let's start off with our goals for this build. First, water. You need water, not just for this build, but for living in general. Take a sip every time I say water in this build, you'll be very hydrated. Speaking of, water has healing properties, which means that we actually get to build a healer, something that every team should probably have, and we've made like less than 10. Maybe I'll make Mercy someday. I already did. Finally, bloodbending is something you don't like doing, but you can do it if you need to, so we'll get something a little bit evil. For stats, we're using the standard point array from the player's handbook. Roll for stats if you want, just keep your wisdom and dexterity high. Wisdom will be number 1. Waterbending is all about connecting to the natural rhythms of the sea and the storms, but not nature. Nature is an intelligence skill for some reason. Dexterity after that. In the Arctic Circle, waterbend you! Was I right to bet on an overlap of Yagov Smirnov and Avatar fans? I hope so. Intelligence next. History and Arcana are both here, and you know your history and lore, partially because of the solid education, partially because you need to explain the lore to the audience. I mean Aang. Follow that up with Charisma. You're likable. Kind of a buzzkill, but that's okay. Sometimes the buzz needs killing when the world is ending and your brother keeps distracting the Avatar with prank wars. The Constitution is a little low. We're gonna bump it up in a second, but we'll drop Strength. You just don't need it for anything. Katara is a human, but you can make her a water genasi if you want her to be worse and not Katara. Variant humans get a feat. Resilient lets you add 1 to a score, and you get proficiency with saving throws for that ability score, like Constitution. Bump that and Wisdom with your 2 free points. Take Acrobatics for your skill of choice, and the Hermit background for Medicine and Arcana proficiency. The Southern Water Tribe is a community, but it's pretty separated from the rest of the world because it's cold. I'm from Minnesota. I get that. We'll kick things off as a cleric, letting us grab 2 skills from the cleric list, like History and Persuasion. We'll pick Life for the domain. Tempest was something I was considering, but Lightning is firebending, and you're totally not into firebenders. I mean, firebending. Why would I even say that you were into firebenders? You're not. Life domain clerics are really good at feeling that healing, with Disciple of Life adding 2 plus the spell's level to the healing spells you cast of first level or higher. Spells like Cure Wounds, which heals 1d8 plus your Wisdom modifier as an action, and you get that for free as a life domain cleric, as well as Bless. That's going to give 3 creatures a d4 to add to their attack rolls and saving throws for a minute depending on your concentration. It's called Team Avatar because it's a team, and they rally behind the avatar. That's the other part. You can also grab spells like Healing Word, which heals 1d4 plus your Wisdom modifier as a bonus action with a 30-foot range, so you can quickly send your water to help someone and use your action for other stuff, like punching. We're going to get punching soon. Shield of Faith adds 2 to a creature's AC for up to 10 minutes if you want to focus your water on keeping one person safe. That person can be you, by the way. Love yourself. Create or Destroy Water either creates 10 gallons of water or destroys it, which will pair with some things we get later. Believe it or not, the Waterbender is going to have some water stuff. Purify Food and Drink cleans poisons out of food and water like a Brita filter you can use on muffins. For your cantrips, Guidance and Resistance give a creature a d4 for ability checks or saving throws respectively for some more mom friend energy, and Spare the Dying automatically stabilizes a creature rolling death saving throws. Use this if the guy you're fighting dives in front of a lightning bolt for you. Can you imagine if Zuko just showed up in the final fight and died, basically making the redemption arc pointless? Some people didn't realize what movie I was dunking on when I made that joke in the Zuko video. It's pretty obvious. Looney Tunes back in action. We're multi-classing at level 2 because I can't control myself. First level monks get Unarmored Defense, making your AC 10 plus your Dexterity and Wisdom modifier when you're not wearing armor. You don't wear anything that wouldn't be comfortable swimming in. I think that qualifies. While unarmored, you can use Martial Arts to make an unarmed attack as a bonus action after you make an unarmed attack as part of your action, and they'll all deal 1d4 plus your Dexterity modifier in damage. Healers are cool, but so are Wheelers, which are girls who do wheel kicks. Triple classing at level 3 isn't a Tulok tradition, but darn it, I'd love it if it were. First level druids can cast druid spells and cantrips, like Frostbite, forcing a constitution saving throw of 8 plus your proficiency bonus and wisdom modifier on a creature, dealing 1d6 cold damage if they fail. They'll also have disadvantage on their next weapon attack. Being frozen will do that to you. Shape Water affects water in a 5-foot cube, either moving it, changing its direction or color, or freezing it for an hour. It's water bending, but it's a cantrip, so it's not, crazy crazy good. Ice Knife shoots an icicle at someone, dealing 1d10 piercing damage with a ranged spell attack, then forcing a dexterity saving throw on creatures in a 5-foot radius of the original target, dealing 2d6 cold damage to those that fail. This is better than any thrown weapon, and it's a first level spell. Imagine being from the Water Tribe and not knowing how to waterbend. That'd be humiliating. Long Strider adds 10 to your movement speed, Jump triples your jump distance. Both of those just up your physicality, which checks out. All you do is camp and fight stuff. Fog Cloud summons a 20-foot cloud of mist that heavily obscures an area, giving ranged attacks disadvantage to hit you while you make your escape, maybe with some heightened movements from Long Strider. This is the only level of Druid we're taking because Katara never turns into Cat-Tara, but since we're multi-classing spellcasters, check page 165 of the player's handbook to know how many spells you have at any given level. Back over to Cleric now. Second level clerics can channel divinity once per short rest. All clerics can turn undead, forcing a wisdom saving throw on undead creatures and making them dash away if they fail. There aren't zombies in Avatar, but if they were, trust me, Katara would have used this. Preserve Life lets you distribute a pool of healing equal to 5 times your cleric level as an action to creatures within 30 feet of you. I'm talking Aang, Toph, Zuko, Momo, Appa, Boomy, Tylee, Iroh, Suki, and yourself. Did I forget someone? Mai! She can get some healing too. None for Sokka. Third level clerics can learn second level spells from the life domain list. Lesser Restoration cures a creature from one disease or blindness, deafness, paralyzation, or poisoning, which should keep your team happy and healthy. Spiritual Weapon creates a magical weapon of force that you can control with your bonus action. You can make a melee spell attack that deals 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier and force damage and can be shaped like anything, so just whip some water around after you spend an action to do whatever you want. Maybe spend it on the aid spell to give 3 creatures 5 extra HP for 8 hours. Not temporary HP, it's good official real HP that goes away when the spell ends. So it's temporary, but not temporary. Fourth level clerics get an ability score improvement. Wisdom is the most important thing for you. It helps you heal, deal damage with spiritual weapon, protect yourself with unarmored defense, and bloodbend with hold person. Hold person forces a wisdom saving throw on a creature. Failing that, they're paralyzed for a minute depending on your concentration, letting you critically hit with all the attacks that are made from melee range, either kicking or spiritual weaponing. Back over to Monk now. Second level monks get key points they can use to do cool waterbending stuff, like Step of the Wind to let you dash or disengage as a bonus action, and triple your jump distance. Just call it Step of the Water and have some water scoot you along. Patient Defense lets you dodge as a bonus action to be even harder to hit than you already were. Flurry of Blows lets you make 2 unarmed attacks instead of 1 with your bonus action, but it can be a great way to break a caster's concentration if that hot fire prince keeps throwing fire whips at you. Hot because, fire. You don't think he's attractive. All monks go a little bit faster with unarmored movement, giving you some bonus speed as long as you don't throw heavy armor on. Third level monks can deflect missiles, letting you reduce the damage from incoming ranged attacks by 1d10 plus your monk level and dexterity modifier as a reaction, and even toss it back with a key point if you want to redirect everything with a wave of your hand. A wave like water. For more water, be a 4 elements monk and take the Water Whip Elemental Discipline, which lets you spend 2 key points to force a dexterity saving throw on a creature within 30 feet of you, dealing 3d10 bludgeoning damage if they fail, and an extra d10 for every key point you spend. You can also knock them prone or pull them 25 feet closer if they fail, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Fourth level monks get Slow Fall, letting you reduce falling damage by 5 times your monk level as a reaction to fall like the gentle rain. You also get an ability score improvement you can use to cap off your wisdom modifier for maximum bending abilities. Fifth level monks get an extra attack, letting you attack twice instead of once with your action, and your monk die bumps up to a d6 to make those hits hit a little harder. You also get Stunning Strike, letting you force a constitution saving throw on a creature you hit with a physical attack. Failing that, they're stunned until the end of your next turn, letting the whole squad get advantage on their attacks against them. Sixth level monks get Key Empowered Strikes, making your unarmed attacks magical in terms of overcoming resistances. Wrap your fists in a little frost. You also get another elemental discipline. Shape of the Flowing River lets you affect a 30-foot cube of water or ice, either freezing it or unfreezing it, raising it up half its size, or lowering it down. The text says you can't use this to deal damage, but if I'm your DM and you get creative with this, I'm gonna let you do it, especially because 4 elements monk is not very good. 7th level monks get Evasion, letting you take half damage on failed dex saves and no damage on successful ones. Lots of fire spells are dex saves, and you're always a little damp. Makes sense. You also get Stillness of Mind, letting you remove an effect of charming or frightening as an action. Fighting against a totalitarian government can be scary. No judgment here. 8th level monks get another ability score improvement. You're not great at punching, but you could be if we invested in your dexterity modifier. But I think That's enough monking for now. 5th level clerics can learn 5th level spells like Mass Healing Word, which is healing word for the masses, as long as you define masses as 6 people. I always get anxious in mid-sized groups, so I would. Anyway, if the whole squad goes down to a fireball, you can use this to get everybody standing again. It's really good. You also get Destroy Undead to kill undead creatures of challenge rating 1/2 or lower when you use Turn Undead. Katara doesn't kill zombies, but maybe your DM will throw in some skeletons, and then she obviously would have. That just didn't happen on the show. 6th level life clerics get Blessed Healer, meaning that when you heal someone with a spell of 1st level or higher, you also get to heal 2 plus the spell's level. Helping others helps yourself. Water Walk lets up to 10 creatures walk on liquid surfaces for an hour, not just limited to water, lava, mud, anything you could conceivably sink into. Maybe this is freezing the surface to make little paths, flavor it however you want. You also get 2 channels of divinity per short rest at this level. 7th level clerics can learn 4th level spells. Control Water lets you control water in a 100-foot cube, flooding it, parting it, reshaping it, or my favorite option, making a whirlpool. This creates a cone 5 feet at the base and 50 feet at the top. That's 25 feet tall. Pulls all creatures 10 feet closer if they're within 25 feet of it. If you get sucked in, you gotta make a strength saving throw or take 2d8 bludgeoning damage, repeating the save every turn, lasting for up to 10 minutes depending on your concentration, so you can fully drown someone. Bleak. 8th level clerics get another ability score improvement. Dexterity would be nice because getting hit is not nice. You also get Divine Strike, letting you add a d8 of radiant damage to 1 weapon attack per round. Punches and kicks are weapon attacks, even though they don't use weapons. I wish this was Force instead of Radiant for your little water whip hands, but I'm not going to turn it down. For this level spell, Freedom of Movement will give a creature immunity to paralyzation or anything that would slow them down, and they can break out of shackles with 5 feet of movement in case you get captured by the Fire Nation. 9th level clerics can learn 5th level spells. Mass Cure Wounds heals 6 creatures within 30 feet of you, 3d8 plus your wisdom modifier as an action, which can really turn the tide of a fight, especially because I don't think the Fire Nation has a lot of healers. We'll finish this off with 2 more monk levels. 9th level monks get Unarmored Movement Improvement. That's going to let you move up walls and over water when you're not wearing armor, so that you can move wherever you need to. Our capstone will be the 10th level of monk for Purity of Body, making you immune to poison damage and the poison condition. Your water isn't going to heal anybody if it's not clean. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how viable this build is. First, healing is good, and like I've said, we don't build a lot of healers. Just having someone who can stop you from rolling death saves is a big win. You've also got some nice and consistent magical damage with magical punches and spiritual weapon mixing in with your whole person. Finally, you've got a lot of variety for ways to help the team. Not just healing, but water walk, freedom of movement, aid, other stuff. Team Avatar is going to be the happiest team in the world. For weaknesses, you're lacking strength, which could lead to you getting pushed around by the Earthbenders. I also cut you off from divine intervention, and believe it or not, having gods directly solve your problems is pretty good. Finally, normal monks burn through key points pretty fast, but elemental monks make it an art form, with water web, dealing cantrip damage, and taking 1/5 of your key points every use. But you're not supposed to be DPS. Keep yourself and your squad alive, douse the flames of war, and get everyone home happy and healthy. Just watch your resources. The way 2020 went, I'm not sure we're going to have plentiful water in 2021. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe for more. We're making a new video every day this month. Join the Patreon for this character sheet and a whole bunch more, and sub to Tulok and Mango for more Tulok fun.